Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. St. Philip's tomb discovered. Finally, after a search that has gone on for years, the tomb of St. Philip the Apostle has been discovered in a southwestern province of Turkey. Professor Francesco D'Andrea and his team of excavators found the saint's tomb while unearthing a church in the ruins of a city called Hierapolis, or Sacred City. D'Andrea says the structure of the tomb and the writing on it confirm that it is indeed the tomb of St. Philip. The apostle is believed to have been martyred in 80 A.D., buried in a martyrium for him in the same place where he was martyred, nearby hot springs used as spas since the 2nd century. Same-sex history referendum. California's Secretary of State has given the go-ahead for the collection of signatures of citizens against the new law that forces the homosexual indoctrination of children in public schools. The law forces educators to identify homosexual groups in history and social studies classes in public school classrooms. The bill made the Golden State the first in America to mandate such lessons after it was signed into law by ex-Jesuit seminarian Governor Jerry Brown. Supporters of the referendum will have until October 12th to gather almost 505,000 signatures in order to bring the issue to the next statewide ballot, or the new law will hit the books in the 2013-2014 school year. Underage marriage non-existent. One of the highest Muslim religious clerics in Saudi Arabia has issued a fatwa calling pedophilia marriage. TheBlaze.com reports his edict insists that girls can be married, quote, even if they are in the cradle, and only questions the ability of a child to bear the physical weight of her new husband. The cleric uses the Quran to support his statement, since Muhammad married a 6-year-old girl and then consummated their marriage by raping her 3 years later when she was 9. Many young girls fall victim to rape in Muslim countries, and this is not the first time a Muslim leader has approved of pedophilia. The full article found on our resource page from TheBlaze.com poses an interesting question. Where are the human rights abuse investigations at times like these? Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Family redefined in Colombia. The first step on the slippery slope of same-sex culture is being taken by Colombia, now that the country's constitutional court has redefined their definition of the family to include homosexuals. The government stopped short of granting sodomites and lesbians marriage, but has given legislators a 2-year timeline to take up the issue. According to the court decision, if a law is not passed in 2 years' time legalizing same-sex unions, couples can go to a notary the next day to be legally married. The government will then reportedly focus on the legalization of homosexual adoption. Obama sues life counselor. The Justice Department is suing an elderly sidewalk counselor for $25,000, accusing the senior citizen of violating the Federal Access to Clinic Entrances Act, otherwise known as FACE. Richard Retta, accused of blocking 3 women from entering an abortion clinic in Washington, D.C., has also saved the lives of 300 babies through his efforts. The group Pro-Life Unity is wondering if this has anything to do with the Justice Department's motives, comparing Retta's build to that of the aggressive, quote, death escort Planned Parenthood volunteers who are not afraid to shove sidewalk counselors out of their way. OneNewsNow.com says the video of him interacting with the 3 women clearly shows he is always either behind or beside them, and Richard Retta will be fighting his case in court. You can check out the full article on our resource page by clicking the link right over here. Malta legalizes divorce. The final official steps have been taken in the Catholic country of Malta's parliament to make divorce legal. The move comes after a referendum earlier this year in which 53% of Catholic countries' voters adopted in favor of the measure. However, the official tally in Parliament was a landslide. 52-11, while 5 MPs abstained from the vote. The new legislation is expected to come into effect in October after Maltese President George Albila signs it into law. Also, one quick note, please say a prayer for the soul of Papal Nuncio Archbishop Pietro Sambi, who has died at the age of 73 following complications from lung surgery earlier this week. Archbishop Sambi has been the Papal Nuncio to the United States since 2005. His funeral is scheduled to take place on August 6th at the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out The Vortex today, where Michael talks about the emerging so-called brat banning trend. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.